Hi, I'm Jeannie Darneille. I'm State Senator for the 27th District, and right now we're at the end of the regular session of the legislature, and all eyes have now turned to the competing budgets between that was passed by the Senate and the one that was passed by the House. So these negotiations are going to be very hard because while we've done all cuts budgets every year for the last 4 years, during this recession, we've been cutting away at services and programs in our state in order to balance the budget. This year, we have no more to cut. We have to look at new revenue, not just from the aspect that we haven't fully recovered from the recession, but we now have to fully fund the McCleary Act, which is a McCleary decision that was made by the Supreme Court. And it says that we have to begin to implement the education reform bills that we passed over the last several years. So this year, that's going to cost us an additional $1 billion, $1 billion. So the governor has asked us to look at closing some tax exemptions. Now, most of us call those tax loopholes. They're gifts that we give to businesses and individuals instead of forcing them to pay the taxes that were already on the books. So basically what a tax exemption is that the state takes out a checkbook just like this, we all have them, and writes a check every quarter to these industries. Well, now, they don't really write a check, but you need to understand that it's really taxpayer dollars, because if they aren't paying it, you are. And so we pass out these tax exemptions every quarter. So let's just look at a few of these tax exemptions that Governor Inslee has asked us to take a look at. So what does $24 million buy us? Well, we either can write this check for $24 million, and it would continue an outdated B&O tax exemption for import commerce that prioritizes foreign producers over Washington state producers. Well, we could spend our $24 million like that, or we could fully fund adult dental services under Medicaid for nearly 20,000 people, and that's just in the 27th District. Think of all those people across the state. Let's say we have another $29 million in this checkbook. We could either continue a preferential B&O tax rate to resellers of prescription drugs that benefits out-of-state operators, defeating the purpose of encouraging local commerce. So we could take that same $29 million and restore the funding to homeless programs that's cut in the Senate budget that could prevent at least another 12,000 homeless families. We can also take another $15 million out of our checkbook and continue a preferential B&O tax rate created in 1975 for travel agents and tour operators so they could compete with the airlines. We're the last state in the country to close this tax loophole. Or we could take that same $15 million and provide respite care to nearly 4,000 families who are caring for their disabled relatives in their home. And finally, we could take this checkbook and continue the sales tax exemption on bottled water. Now that's one you've seen before because we implemented that tax back a few years ago, and the voters came back and said they did not want to implement that tax. Well, it's $51 million. $51 million. If we were to discontinue that sales tax exemption on bottled water, we could provide college-bound scholarships for more than 4,500 students who are currently enrolled just in the Tacoma public school system. Think about the thousands and thousands of young people across our state who could benefit from a higher education with that money. $51 million. You know, my checkbook is a little thin, personally, and I know that I'm trying to tell you that the state checkbook is very thin as well. So we've got some choices to make, and what I'm trying to portray here in this silly little exercise is that there's more benefit to us as a state to have our children better educated, to have our disabled persons more cared for, to make sure that we have dental services for low-income persons who are on Medicaid, and to make sure that we don't create more homelessness in our communities. So I hope you'll join me in listening to the debate about closing tax loopholes, and will support more of what's evident in the House budget that we're going to be considering in the coming week. Thank you so much. Take care.